Hello, and a very warm welcome to all the students of Europe Hotel School and the professionals joining us today. I'm a specialist in modern hotel operations, and I've spent my career right at the intersection of hospitality and technology. We all know how much we lean on our tech, right? It's that invisible backbone, running everything from check-in to billing, making our lives so much easier. But what happens when that backbone, well, breaks? That's what we're going to dive into. I want you to really picture this for a second. The PMS just crashes, or maybe the main server goes down. Worse yet, the power for the whole block just cuts out. And just like that, poof, all those amazing digital tools we rely on are gone. Now, this isn't some what-if fantasy scenario. This is a real-world operational reality that every single hotel has to be ready for. It's in that moment of, let's call it digital darkness, that the human element becomes everything. It's the absolute star of the show. How your team responds, well, that's the ultimate test, isn't it? It tests their training, their professionalism, their deep down commitment to the guest. This is exactly where the great teams separate themselves from the good ones. All right, so let's get into the heart of it. Section 1, when technology fails. And the subtitle here says it all, the inevitable disruption. Look, the first thing we all have to accept is that this stuff is gonna happen. It's not a question of if a system will fail, it's a question of when. Every piece of tech has a breaking point. So the real key here isn't trying to stop the unstoppable, it's about being 100% prepared for it when it happens. So check this out. What I love about this comparison is how clearly it lays things out. You have one single event, a tech failure, but it can go in two completely opposite directions. Path 1, total crisis. We're talking guest panic, lost revenue, a disaster. Path 2, it's just an inconvenience. You build guest trust, you maintain smooth service. So what's the difference? What's the one thing that decides which path you go down? It's right there at the bottom, preparedness. That's it. That's the whole game. Okay, so how do we actually get prepared? Well, this leads us to our next section, the preparedness playbook and the foundation of control. The most important thing to get is that the real work happens way before any crisis hits. True control, it's all built on having a rock-solid preparedness playbook, and that means having your essential offline tools ready to grab at a moment's notice. And here they are, your offline lifesavers. Seriously, think of these as your non-digital secret weapons. A printed arrival list, you know exactly who's coming. Departure list, you know who's leaving. That room occupancy report is your map for manually assigning rooms. And manual folios, receipts, and the good old-fashioned mechanical spare keys, they mean you can still do business. In that moment, these simple pieces of paper and metal, they literally become the most important tech you have in the entire hotel. And this brings us to an absolutely critical point. This quote nails it. Hotels that rely on real-time printing or late report generation struggle the most. See, preparedness isn't something you do once a month. It's not a one-time task. It has to be a continuous, living process. The teams that wait, they're the ones who get caught out. The true professional standard is simple. You print these key reports at the start of every single shift. You're creating a constant rolling backup that's always current. Okay, let's shift gears. We've prepared, now we're in the moment. Section 3, managing the moment, commanding the chaos. The system has just gone down. Maybe you hear some alarm bells, maybe it's just a dead screen. This is it. This is where all that training kicks in and your team steps up to command the chaos instead of getting swallowed by it. So what are the front desk priorities? When the pressure is on, you have to know what to do first. And the logic here is perfect. Step 1, let the people who are leaving leave. You can't hold a guest hostage because your system is down. Settle up manually. Step 2, use those manual folios and receipts to keep processing payments. Step 3, for new arrivals, you've got your printed reports. Use them to get people checked into their rooms. And finally, Step 4, communication with other departments like housekeeping goes old school. It's verbal, it's direct. It's all about falling back on those core, reliable procedures that always work. Now, listen to this, because if you take one thing away from our time together, let it be this quote. Guests rarely become upset about technical failure. They become upset when the team appears unprepared. This is so true. The tech problem isn't the real problem for the guest. The real problem is seeing a team that looks lost, confused, or even worse, panicked. But a team that's calm, confident, and clearly has a plan B, that inspires incredible trust, even when things are going sideways. And that confidence, it has to come through in what you say. It's all about a confident message. Just imagine you're at the front desk and you say this to a guest. Our system is temporarily offline, but we are completely ready to check you in manually and escort you to your room right away. Think about what that message does. It's honest, it's super reassuring, and most importantly, it keeps the focus on solving their problem, not on complaining about yours. Let's use a power outage as a perfect example. What's the wrong approach? The lights go out and the staff just disappear. The lobby is dark and silent. For a guest, that's genuinely terrifying. Now, what's the right approach? The lights go out and suddenly your staff are more visible than ever. They have flashlights, they're actively guiding people, offering help, communicating. The lobby is still dark, sure, but the entire feeling has shifted from one of terror to one of safety. Your team's presence, their visibility, makes all the difference in the world. All right, deep breath. The crisis is over, the power's back on, the system is rebooting. It's tempting to think the hard part is done, right? But the work is definitely not over. This brings us to Section 4, Seamless System Recovery. Because restoring normal operations, this phase is just as critical as managing the outage itself. So what's the post-outage process look like? The key word here is precision. Every single one of those manual transactions has to be entered back into the system with extreme care. And this isn't just about clean bookkeeping. This is about protecting the guest relationship. Just think about it. You handle the blackout perfectly, the guest is impressed, and then a week later, they get a bill with a duplicate charge. All that trust you built? Gone. In an instant. That's why this data reentry part needs the same level of focus as the crisis itself. You have to get it right. So, we've walked through the before, the during, and the after of a tech failure. What's the big takeaway here? What's the core lesson? Let's boil it all down to the true professional standard, the thing that really separates the good teams from the truly great ones. And that standard is a concept called operational readiness. It's a fantastic term. What does it mean? It's simply the ability of your team to deliver seamless, high-quality service and maintain guest trust with or without digital tools. It's the ultimate proof that your real strength isn't in your software, it's in your people and your processes. And this final quote just says it all, doesn't it? A team that can work only when the system works is not yet strong. Technology is an amazing partner. It supports us, it makes us incredibly efficient. But it can never, ever replace our fundamental hospitality skills. A team that falls apart when the Wi-Fi goes down is fragile. But a team that can still deliver amazing service when the screens go dark, that is a truly strong team. So, as you continue with your studies and get ready to step into your careers, I want to leave you with this one final thought. Just picture it. Your system is down. A guest is standing right in front of you at the desk waiting. What happens next? The answer to that question is entirely up to you and how prepared you are to answer the call.